Welcome back. I'm Tedward, and today's a special day because we're going out for a ride in this Lamborghini Aventador SVJ Xago Edition. And although I've already put about 300 miles on this car, we're going to give you a better treat because we're here at the Eurosport Rally in Pennsylvania. We're going to go for a ride with Valentino Balboni at the helm. So I hope that if you can appreciate a passenger POV, this is it, man. Going out on public roads, ripping around with the ex-chief test driver of Lamborghini himself. So let's hop in and go for a drive and see if we can't find out what Mr. Balboni's all about. Oh, this is exciting. So I never thought I'd be saying this, but I'm sitting here with Valentino Balboni in an Aventador SVJ Xago, who claims he's going to maybe drive the speed limit. I have no faith in that actually happening, and that's what I appreciate about you, sir.
Thank you. We'll do our best, you know. We'll do our best. We have to enjoy, be happy, and have fun.
When you get into a car, I mean, you've driven nearly every Lamborghini, which is a very strange thing to be able to say. But what do you look for first? Like, you get in, you feel the car. I watched you. You're checking things. You're checking for what are the first things you dig into?
Well, just make comfortable seats, you know, be on the right position, reach the pedal, reach the steering wheel, you know, check if everything's okay, pressure, oil pressure, petrol, temperature, you know, just to make sure that everything is under control.
And then once you get on the road, what's your checklist? Do you have like a system of, ooh, I'm going to check this, that? Or do you just feel it out and let the car talk?
Well, this checklist comes automatically on your you know, body, on your feelings. And then you enjoy and you feel and you react based on the car behavior.
I got you, Cody.
Back to the reality.
Right in the office, eh?
Yes, geez, this is a beautiful feelings. So you check the rear mirror. Everything is okay to make sure everything works.
How do you feel about the evolution of Aventador since 2011? I mean, this is not the same car, but it is.
There is no end to the limits. I think there is always an increase of power, performance, brakes. I mean, I thought one day we will reach the limit, but still we never reach the limit.
It's incredible.
Reactions are different. Oh, do you feel comfortable, yeah?
I'm great. I couldn't be more comfortable. You're probably one of the few people I will be in a car with and feel very comfortable in. You do whatever you want. Do you drive other cars to benchmark back in the day?
Sometime, yes. Used to drive competitor cars to make comparison then.
What were your favorite competitor cars?
You know, our neighbor behind, our neighbor on the other side of the river, we say. Very close to Lamborghini.
Oh yeah.
Also beautiful cars, you know. Let's say each one has his own temperament and character. Depends what you like, you know. But performance, you know, we are more or less same level. And then the difference is exclusivity. I think Lamborghini is even always more exclusive than everybody else.
What was it like when Diablo got all-wheel drive? Speaking of Diablo, we have a Diablo right there. How does that make you feel?
Oof. Very nice to look at those beautiful
so,
Lamborghini.
There's a VT. So we're talking about, what did it feel like when that went all-wheel drive? Were you...
well, at the beginning, I tell you, I was a little bit concerned about the four-wheel drive on a sport car. But I tell you, then during the development test, seeing how the car performance, and seeing how the car reacts. It gives the pleasure of driving, being more safe, making the limit of the car very high and making your life behind the wheel easier.
Yes.
So it was a good idea. It was a good idea. I had to change my mind slowly over the time, you know. At the beginning I was a little bit concerned, but then when I find out the limit of the car slowly, you know, it's became a pleasure. I mean, a four-wheel drive with the concept of the visco traction, which is on our car, it's very good because it gives you the pleasure of driving, and at the same time it increases the performance. You know, a test driver has to find the limit, has to find the limit of the car and make everything, you know, reasonable and feasible.
What about the difference between a dual clutch and this single clutch? I mean, it's phenomenal that this retains a single clutch gearbox. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's theater, it's outrageous, it hits. I mean, for you, what was it like testing back to back? I mean, later on, a dual clutch in a Huracan versus, you know, the old school single clutches. Did you have hesitancy in moving to a dual clutch as well?
Not really. You know, the development engineers, they always find the best solution, and we have to check if the solution, the best solution for the engineers, is the one really helping and doing what it's supposed to do on the car. So this new technology, this new system of dual clutch, for example, it's very, very good. You know, is an improvement in terms of performance, and at the same time also reliability of the car, you know, the clutch. So it makes every component of the car makes, let's say, better quality, improves and makes the car more powerful, more safe on the road, you know, because the same concept is applied on the brake, on the suspension, on the shock absorber, developing the frame, you know, it's getting together works. You know, not only one component, but many more components together. They make the big difference. That's
incredible. I read something that said your one of the first cars that got you really interested in cars was the Bizarrini 5300 GT Strada. Is that true?
Correct.
I've driven one, and it was incredible.
Yeah. This was the first car I saw when the first time in my life I went to a motor show. I don't remember which year it was, but I think 62, 63 maybe, something like that. I went to Torino Motor Show, and the first car I see entering the show was a Bizarrini Strada 5.3, beautiful. I said, wow, what a car. And then everything started.
That's incredible.
It was a beautiful green car.
It was green?
Yeah, green Bizarrini 5.3 Strada. Just open the door of the show and you fall down, you know, your vision fall down in this beautiful car. It was an amazing.
Did you ever
remember me? I still remember.
Did you ever meet Giotto?
Yes.
What's he like? I was always curious because I'm sure he has a very tumultuous or troublesome relationship with Mr. Enzo Ferrari. I mean, what was his demeanor? What was he like?
Giotto Bizarrini was a genius on those days. He made his own car, he developed his own engines, and he did really, he found, let's say, the root of the sport car. Is part of the, you know, of the origin of the sport exotic car. Imagine the Bizarrini on the 60s, such a beautiful car, you know, it was futuristic, and still today, you know, when you see a Bizarrini, you see the aerodynamic, you see the beginning of the aerodynamic, of the typical sport, shape, design. And is a rule which is also applied today. I mean, it's the same logic, the same, let's say, logic.
Yeah, did you feel a connection to him because he developed the V12 from the Miura? And I mean, you've probably driven hundreds of cars with kind of his design and engineering behind.
Well, he developed the 350 GT engine, the first 350 GT Lamborghini engine. He was part of the team of the engineers who developed the 350 GT engine, the first Lamborghini engine, not the Miura. The Miura came after.
When you're at home, what do you personally drive? Do you have favorite cars that you own, that those are your weekend cars, or?
Let's say a weekend car is a Lamborghini Gallardo, Valentino Balboni.
I think that's the right choice.
which is a weekend car, and my daily car is an Audi, beautiful Audi.
All right.
Very discreet, powerful, very nice.
Find an advantage testing on streets rather than a racetrack back in the 70s and 80s?
Everybody was used to develop the cars on the public road, Then later the racetrack, proving ground came on, but at the beginning, the biggest part of the development is done on the roads, where the people will use the car, where the customer will use the car. Then later, we went to the proving ground to develop the prototypes, to keep everything more confidential. Was different.
Yeah.
But the prototype on my times used to be developed on the public road, on the mountain roads, which was good.
What gave you car control? Was it just bravery and luck, and then you got good? Or how did you learn to drive?
It's also an instinct. It's an instinct. It's something that is born from the passion, and then it comes instinct. It's an attitude. It's an attitude that we all have because we all enjoy driving our cars our own way. We, as a test driver or a professionals, let's say, we develop in particular this kind of attitudes. We work every day on the attitude, day by day. So you get a feeling, level, and sensations that is much more than your sensation when you drive your car, which you enjoy driving, which you feel safe. But for us, is extremely, let's say, developed. This kind of feelings. They are extremely developed.
That GoPro makes all that whistling noise. That's not the car, don't worry.
Something on a racetrack.
I agree. Well, you're always welcome in Boston. We can find, there's 3 racetracks that can get anything you want. We'll make sure it happens.
Cody lives in Boston?
Cody lives in Pittsburgh. We'll get you over to Palmer Motorsports Park. It's built into a hill, very tight hairpins. You'll be right at home. We'll try to get you a rear-wheel drive Huracan, so that way you feel okay, you know.
Oh yes, it would be fantastic. This is beautiful, you know. Rolling hills.
It's amazing the way this takes compression as well. It's not too stiff. I thought this car was going to be much stiffer, and it's not. It's compliant. It keeps the wheels on the ground really nicely.
No, with this kind of suspension, you know, it's very, let's say, automatically damping, you know, depending on the speed, on the power you are using. So it sets a shock absorber to have the best compromise.